Hi, you guys. Welcome to Audrey's Reading Area. Welcome to Audrey's Reading Area. Alexa, what time is it?
It's 5 p.m.
Alexa, what time is Audrey's Reading Area?
Audrey reads in her area at 5 o'clock p.m.
All right, you guys. Wow. Thank you for continuously being here, listening to me read fun and exciting books to you. Yes, today's Tuesday. What kind of books do I do on Tuesdays? You got it. Educational books. Fun, exciting, and educational books. So, I'll be reading this book now. I did not read it in advance. I'm not sure what it says, and this is my disclaimer. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like I said, not sure what it says. So I'm reading this book. Doesn't mean it's my beliefs. All right. Abraham Lincoln. Abe's Honest Words. Abe's Honest Words. The Life of Abraham Lincoln. This book was written by Doreen Rappaport, illustrated by Kadir Nelson. It says Abe's Honest Words. The Life of Abraham Lincoln. Well, all right. Let's see what this book says. It gives you a little thing that's written in the front. It says, if slavery is not wrong, nothing is wrong. I cannot remember when I did not think so or feel so. So if slavery is not wrong, nothing is wrong. Wow. I'll read this part after I read the book. So let's see what they say about Abraham Lincoln. In the slave state of Kentucky, deep in the wilderness, young Abraham learned to hunt for nuts and currants and fish for trout and bass and bass, and he learned to tend to the soil and seed. He learned sorrow at age 9 when his mama died, but he found great joy with a loving stepmother. The stepmother encouraged him to read and learn. Abraham Lincoln is my name, and with my pen I wrote the same. I write in both haste and speed, and left it here for fools to read. Let's see. The family moved deeper into the wilderness, to the free state of Indiana. Panther screams and prowling bears filled Abraham's nights with fears. Wow, okay. Wow, he had just a mite of schooling, yet he loved words the way his papa, a master storyteller, did. He stuffed books inside his shirt. In between splitting wood and plowing, he stood in the field and read. He read some books so many times, he knew whole parts by the heart. Means he memorized it. The things I want to know are in books. My best friend is the man who will give me a book I ain't read. Wow. Interesting, isn't it? Another moved to New Salem, a village in Illinois. The long, lanky boy was a man now. He ferried people and goods down the Ohio and Mississippi rivers. In between the pull of the pole and the splash of the water, he listened to hunters spin tales of a mighty marksman, half man, half alligator. And sailors described giant mosquitoes that could kill a man. He heard lawyers tell how they used words to gain justice for ordinary folks. He heard preachers quote from the Bible, "A house divided against itself cannot stand." This is true. A house divided against itself cannot stand. He stored these different voices in his heart and wove them into his own words. The long, muddy Mississippi River brought Lincoln south to New Orleans. He walked on cobblestone paths and along canals, past flowers spilling over lacy iron balconies. He saw men and women in fancy clothes, eating fancy foods and sipping wine. French, Spanish, and English words filled his ears, but a hideous sight shattered his joy. 12 Negroes chained 6 and 6 together, strung together like so many fish upon a trot line, being separated forever from their childhood, their friends, their fathers and mothers and brothers and sisters, from their wives and children, into perpetual slavery. Lincoln worked at many jobs: farmhand, store owner, postmaster, surveyor, rail splitter. Wherever, whatever, he always had a book in his hand. Elocution, grammar, mathematics, biography, history, poetry, and plays. Upon the subject of education, I review it. The blue part I'm reading, apparently, I'm guessing, is Abraham's words, Mr. Lincoln's words. I view it as the most important subject which we as a people can be engaged in. America was growing. Farmers needed new waterways and railroads to ship their crops. Everyone needed better education. If he became a lawmaker, he could help people get these things. So he ran for the Illinois state legislature. He spoke in public squares and country stores and hayfields. I am young and unknown to many of you. I was born and have ever remained in the most humble walks of life. I have no wealthy or popular relations to recommend me. His words. He lost the election, but people liked what he said and how he said it. He ran again. This time he won. He ran 3 more times and won. He became a lawyer. His clients praised honest old Abe, the lawyer who was never known to lie. He didn't like the nickname Abe, but it stuck. Resolve to be honest at all events, and if you cannot be an honest lawyer, resolve to be honest without being a lawyer. Choose some other occupation. Nearly 4 million black men, women, and children were enslaved in the southern states. Lincoln thought slavery a great evil. If he became a United States Senator, more people would hear him speak out against it. In speech after speech, he reminded people that slavery did not fit with the ideals of the Declaration of Independence. As a nation, we began to declare that all men are created equal. We now practically read it. All men are created equal, except Negroes. That's how they read it, except Negroes. He lost the election, but again, his words got much attention. People felt that he spoke from his heart. In the next 2 years, tension over slavery grew between the South, and the North. Lincoln ran for president and spoke out against this evil practice. He won this election, but a month before he took office, 7 southern states left the Union. They formed their own government with their own president. In his first inaugural address, Lincoln reminded Americans that they were one people. We are not enemies, but friends. We must not be enemies. On April 12, 1861, Southern troops attacked Fort Sumter. That's a federal fort in South Carolina. Lincoln knew he had no choice now. The North had to fight the South to bring it back into the Union. I hold that the union of these states is perpetual. No state can lawfully get out of the Union. Families were torn apart, and husbands, fathers, and sons went off to war, many never to return. Wow. Many Northerners worried that Lincoln did not have the skills to lead the nation in this terrible time. He's too backwards. He's unpresidential. He tells too many silly jokes. He has too little experience in government. If I were to try to read, much less answer, all the attacks made on me, this shop might as well be closed for any other business. I do the very best I know how, the very best I can, and I mean to keep doing so until the end. Lincoln believed that true liberty could not permit slavery. He decided to use his wartime powers as commander-in-chief to end slavery. In the third year of war, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation. Emancipation Proclamation. It freed over 3 million black men and women and children and called for black men to join the Union Army. In grieving freedom to the slave, we assure freedom to the free. Most white Northerners opposed Lincoln's proclamation, but he stood firm. I never in my life felt more certain that I was doing right than I do in signing this paper. My whole soul is in it. So according to this book, Abraham Lincoln put his whole soul into that Declaration of Independence, that proclamation. Yeah. The war dragged on. Lincoln grew sadder and sadder as more Americans died. He went to the Gettysburg battlefield and again reminded the nation why these men had sacrificed their lives. 77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. The Emancipation Proclamation had freed slaves only in the United States and territories that were in rebellion. Lincoln wanted slavery ended in the entire nation. Yeah, it was only in the states and territories that were in rebellion. Wow. Most white lawmakers did not want this. He called them to the White House to convince them of what he knew was right. The moment I came when I felt that slavery must die, that the nation must live. Finally, they agreed. Finally agreed. Wow. In the fourth year of war, victory seemed close for the North, but Lincoln felt no joy. Hundreds of thousands of men on both sides had died in battle. The country was deeply divided. Many Northerners wanted to punish the South for starting the war. Southerners were furious that the Union Army had destroyed their cities and homes and crops. Could the nation ever be one people again? In his second inaugural address, Lincoln shared his vision of how the country could heal itself. With malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right, as God gives us to see the right, let us strive on to finish the work that we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds. Wow. The South finally surrendered. The South finally surrendered. The job of healing the nation began. But Lincoln was not there to help. An assassin's bullet ended his life. But his words were there to guide those who choose to remember. It is for us the living, rather than we here highly resolved, that these dead shall not have died in vain. That this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Wow. The end. The end. It says, there's some important dates on here. December 18 is not one of them, so I ain't gonna read them. I'm just saying. Yeah, there's some important dates. And I said I was going to read you the beginning excerpt of this book. So let me read it now. Hope you guys enjoy this book. Hope you enjoyed, yes, on this Educational Tuesday. From time he was a young man, yes, we're talking about Abraham Lincoln. It says, from the time he was a young man, Abraham Lincoln was pained by the cruelty and evil of the institution of slavery. A voracious reader, Lincoln spent every spare moment of his days filling his mind with knowledge. Knowledge, like how I'm reading to you, filling your heads, your brains with knowledge. Just listen and share. From history to literature to mathematics, preparing himself to one day lead the country he loved toward great equality and prosperity. Despite the obstacles he faced as a self-educated man from the backwoods, Lincoln persevered in his political career and Lincoln persevered in his political career, and his compassion and honesty gradually earned him the trust of many Americans. As president, he guided the nation through a long and bitter civil war and penned the document that would lead to the end of slavery in the United States. Well, probably the beginning of the end of slavery. Okay. The passion for humanity that defined Lincoln's life shines through in this momentous follow-up to Martin's big words and John's secret dreams, told in accessible, absorbing prose and brought to life with powerful illustrations. Abe's Honest Words is an epic portrait of a truly great American president. Drops mic, right? Drops mic. Wow. All right, you guys. Thank you for being here and listening to me read fun, exciting, and educational books like Abe's Honest Words, The Life of Abraham Lincoln. Yes, you can catch this on YouTube in about an hour. It'll be on YouTube here at Audrey's Reading Area. And you can also click like, click share. Yeah, when you get to YouTube, punch out that punch. Oh, yes, punch that subscribe button. Yes, punch it out for me. And you can even hammer that notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video to Audrey's Reading Area on YouTube. Shout outs to my mom for being here. Her name is Bev. Thank you so much, Mom, for being here every day. Thank you, Cece. Thanks for being here. Thanks, Rita. Thank you. All right, you guys. Now, what am I going to do? You guys know what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you to tune in again tomorrow when? Live at 5. Can you do that? Live. That's American Sign Language. That's the letters. Live. Live at 5 tomorrow, you guys. Yes. Shout out to my niece, Emlyn, who's also here. Emlyn. My niece, Emlyn. Thank you for being here, you guys. And thanks for enjoying fun and exciting books like this. Yes. Again, I'll see you live at 5 tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'll see ya tomorrow. It's only a day away, you guys. See you there.